Now is the time to build fertility in your garden. As things die back in the fall, you can chop and drop them, add them onto beds, put them in compost piles, rake up all your leaves, and in the spring, you can plant without needing to get bags and bags of fertilizer. So let me show you what I've done around the garden. I've been quite busy with the cleanup and the fertility building. Let me start here. This is my squash bed that I had, and I had tons of wild tomatoes growing in here up until last week, and I have chopped and dropped all of the material that died back with a couple of frosts. I've also put out some things just straight from my kitchen, like these cauliflower leaves. And I just pile everything on here. I put shredded cardboard, I'm using leaves, I'm using kitchen waste, nothing like meat or dairy, but anything that was once growing is coming out here. And I'm gonna pile some leaves on it this week and just let it all break down. The microbes will work on it, and they will be more active if they're warm. So the more you pile on, the more active they can be over the winter. And the freeze and thaw cycles also do wonders breaking down garden debris and kitchen debris. So it's definitely a good idea to chop and drop in place. Pile up leaves that would otherwise go to a recycling center. Save all of your material, guys. You can return that fertility back to your beds. Here's my adorable little peach tree that I'm so excited about. And I had put down some cardboard to choke back the grass, kind of suppress the grass, and I put down lots of elephant ear and canna lily debris from the garden over here. So chop and drop isn't just doing it in place. You can bring over different materials and layer it around a choice shrub or tree, something you want to add fertility to later. And all of this will break down throughout the winter and start feeding that plant next year. But as you can see, you can't even see that I layered in lots of huge elephant ear leaves. They're mixed up with leaves, and I'll even add some more. But that is returning all the nutrients that those plants took out of the soil. It's returning it back to the soil in the place of my choice. And hopefully I will get some peaches out of it. This looks like a completely empty bed, but I've mulched it with some shredded paper, and I just last week tossed out radish seeds and a few turnip seeds just scattered throughout. And when the weather is right, probably early spring, those seeds will sprout and cover the ground. Having things growing will really add fertility to the ground and create kind of a green manure. All of the leaves will break down on top. You can also harvest some of your ground cover as well. That is one thing you can do, is scatter some cover crop seeds and wait for them to do their magic. Aren't my muley grasses pretty? It's very hard to see because they're almost ethereal, but they're kind of coming to the end of their bloom cycle. But hopefully some of those nice radish seeds will sprout here, and also over here. I thickly planted radish seeds, so we'll see what comes up. But spread your cover crop seeds starting in September. Some of them have already grown for me and died back, and I'll show you where that happened. Here's another area where I'd scattered some garden debris. Instead of gathering it up, I put it around these newly transplanted azaleas, and also my mini mauvet hydrangea, which hasn't quite lost its leaves yet. All of that is going to be added fertility to the soil around it. And there was a huge pine tree here for years, using up all the available nutrients, I'm sure. So this is an area where I'm going to have to layer in lots of stuff to break down and give all of my newly planted things some nice fertility. In my polytunnel vegetable beds up here, I planted some green beans and they are dying back. They'll die back and compost right in place. That was a cover crop I planted in September, so I was thinking ahead a bit. And that is going to help add in lots of nice nitrogen. Definitely start thinking about adding fertility back to your garden starting in September. Actually, you can do it year-round, but fall is a great time to be thinking about this when you have access to lots of leaves and garden debris. And then over here I have the same thing. I'm loving the red stalks on this beautiful Swiss chard. But as you can see, lots of shredded paper and cardboard and leaves, and some dying green bean plants. Another thing you can do in the fall is create some small bins. This one's broken, not looking the best, but you can just kind of put small compost bins around near your garden beds where things will break down, and by next spring and summer, you'll have some nice soil to use right next to your gardens. You don't even have to put money out to buy it, and you don't have to lug it from your car. Here it is right here. It will be ready to use. If I dig under those leaves, I'm sure there's some nice soil already. So practicing some of these cleanup methods, the chop and drop, the compost bins, and the cover cropping all in the fall can really help the next season. You will have nice fertile soil to work in, and you'll thank yourself for doing it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're having fun in your fall gardens.